No need for an open today, Pilk, right? It's coming in. Coming in hot. All right, you better take this down, Grover, or we're going to get kicked off of Spotify. And then Dr. No will email me as if I have any clue to what's happening with all this. Welcome in, everybody. Nice to have you with us here. Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game. I just see the animation. Do we have where I can see Pilk and see William and see everybody? Or there we go. See myself, which is quite exciting. Brian Mull's going to be with us today. Pilk, are you here even? Are you there?
My mic's on.
Hello. I feel like Henry. Come in, Berlin.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
I threw
what
him
is
to the
happening?
Wolves. He had like 10 seconds to get ready. I threw him to the Wolves.
What are you doing? It seems like you're just have you started your vacation early? It seems like it.
No. Honestly, I've been dealing with Talk of the Town stuff most of the morning because we had some
As
tech
did I.
issues. No, we had tech issues. I was on the phone with your boy Buscemi all morning long.
Oh, the great traveler, the great cross-country traveler who's taking a steamer across the United States like it's the 1800s. So he can spend one whole day out in Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. This radio business, you'll find some nuts in the radio business.
I heard President Lincoln's going to be on the train with him.
Well, it's how political candidates used to do it back in the day. Am I going to be able to see you today, Pilk, or is this not happening?
That's
is the multi?
I'm trying to figure this out.
Well, Pilk, get in there and help him. Jeez Louise. God. Welcome to the show. And, I mean, this has just been – I couldn't think of a better start to a program than what we've had here today. I wish I had started my birthday celebration early and had a libation instead of a soda here. I think I'm going to need one. Brian Mull is allegedly going to be with us today, and I think telephonically, which sort of defeats the whole purpose of multiple segments with Mull, so probably a single segment with him today. We've got Pirates softball coming up tonight. That will be ECU playing in the American Athletic Conference tournament at 7 o'clock. Can't wait for that. And tomorrow, we've got special guest Jonathan Wagner. We're going to have Maeve English in the studio tomorrow. So that'll be a fun little show. And then Friday, it's all been ironed out. So I wouldn't say smoothed out, but it's been ironed out. I will be at the Bird Dogs opener. Hopefully not getting rained on.
I was about to say, Patrick, bring your umbrella.
Don't start with me.
Do you have a yellow raincoat?
I don't. I'm not a weirdo. Don't start with me. Maybe we should take Grover down because he's irritating me right now more. I talk to him and he's the first voice I hear when I hit back in today, and that just irritated me to no end. Well, it is way behind us. You can't turn the page back, boys. You can't turn that's what I've learned in my years of living on this planet. You can't turn the page back. You have to press forward.
Hey, Patrick, you're the oldest you've ever been, and you're the youngest you'll ever be again at this exact moment.
All right. I'm not in the mood for philosophy, Pilkington. I'm really not. I'm not. Guess who else's birthday it is today? Sales Weasel Brad Durrett, who weaseled out of an appearance on the show. He actually didn't know we wanted to have him on the show. But it would have been great to have him on. He was on last year around his birthday and was actually really funny, wasn't he?
He was. Yeah, we played a Hold My Beer on a Friday, I think leading into, your guys' birthday, I guess would have been on a Tuesday last year. So I think it was kind of leading into that.
He was funny.
He was
funny.
We have funny people that work here, Patrick. You don't come in enough, so you don't realize how funny Mark Miller is. And
I get enough of Miller. I read enough Miller's political posts. I get enough Miller in my life.
That's why you don't talk politics with Miller. You talk other stuff with Miller. You talk old stories of so his funny thing is his old radio stories are not like Michael's. Not like, well, I was sitting in the radio at East Carolina University and I was talking to this guy. Like his stories are not like that. His stories are like, Well, after we got off work, we went to this bar and my buddy got in a fight. That's Mark Miller's kind of fun radio story.
That's not really not a radio story. That's just a story.
Yeah, I know, but they all they start with people we worked with. The point is, Mark has good stories, but the only people you talk to are me, who you don't like, Michael, who you despise.
Oh, wait a minute. Who said I don't like you? Who said I don't like you? What is this about?
Multiple sources.
Okay, me, who gets on your nerves on purpose.
Up, Grover.
Michael, who ticks you off daily because you two don't like each other. And
who says I don't like him? He's just not on top of his game. I like on top of the game, which is why Grover's in real trouble. That's why Grover's on my list right now. You need to be on top of your game when dealing with me. Hey, I don't have time. At least I'm here. Friday's on his own, baby. I'm going to be gone. Isaac's going to be out there. I'm just showing up Friday and doing the bird doggy dog. So.
Have you ever met Isaac in person?
I don't think I have. No, I have once when he was an intern. And then we know the rules about the interns, which I'm thinking of actually going and getting an executive order like Trump's going to do on the NIL. I'm going to get Trump to do an executive order and call it the Grover rule. My intern rule is the interns aren't allowed to talk to me. And I'm going to make that a William Grover rule, I believe, where he's not allowed, even though he's an employee, to talk to me. I think that's what I'm going to get Trump to do, an executive order. By the way, no need to wish me a happy birthday or anything, Grover. You've come in and ambushed my show today. No need to wish me a happy birthday on my birthday.
I played the Beatles.
You disrespectful young thing, you. Played the Beatles.
Speaking of people talking to you, did allow Chris, the intern, last week on your show.
Yeah, that was a moment of weakness.
It was.
He seems like a good kid.
I think you like him as far as
I mean, I don't have any reason not to. I mean, he seems like he's very competent in what he does for us here at the organization.
He picks up on stuff quick. He's like us. He's a sports guy more than a tech guy, but he picks up on stuff.
He seems like a good guy. And I like Grover. I wouldn't give Grover a hard time if I didn't like Grover. He's pumping his fist, wise ass. But you know who else's birthday it is today?
Who?
Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast. Don't call him Jimmy. He doesn't like it. Mr. Beast is celebrating a birthday today.
Oh, how about that?
Grover, does that excite you? That probably gets you. You're probably going to get on there and say, well, happy birthday, Mr. Beast, on the radio airwaves, because you probably watch his video game.
Sharing his day with you.
He's Exactly, Grover. Exactly.
Are there any other? Do you guys ever look at that? Who has the same birthday as you? Who else?
Let's look it up. Get on this, Pilk. Why don't you contribute to the show today, since you've let it go off the rails?
On Baseball Reference before, and I share my birthday with insignificant second baseman for the Cardinals, Pete Kozma, but that's just a small fact.
Hey, why don't you get on there and see what baseball players have a May 7th birthday? Can you do that,
I am scrolling
William?
Through, and I ain't never heard of these people.
Well, just roll some names out there.
Dude, they're all YouTube and TikTok stars. You got
clear. Well, see, that's because of your search. You got to go a little deeper, Pilk. You need to do like movie stars or musicians or things like that. So what you're saying is, of the people who are celebrating a birthday today, it could be argued that I will be a more relevant celebrity in 5 years than the YouTubers and the podcasters.
You already are.
It could be argued.
I've heard of you. I ain't heard of these people. I heard of you before I started working here. I've never heard of them.
There you go.
Kevin Owens, the wrestler.
Okay. Kevin Steen is the great Jim Cornette calls him.
Really?
Which is his real name, or the name he went by. Yeah. Okay. It was a real pain in the neck to Cornette.
All right, what do you? You share a birthday
let's
with
do
Hall
that.
of Famer Dick
Stick
Williams.
to sports.
And
Dick Williams, old Dickie Willie Dick. All right.
Career WAR of 3.4, but you also share a birthday with current Rockies player, I believe. Correct me, Philip. Nolan Jones.
I don't even know, man. I watch the Rockies.
Will surpass his WAR. He is currently at 3.1 in 3 years, which is not too bad.
Jones would be a teammate of, which pirate? Zach Agnos. God knows.
Have you guys been able to watch any of his outings? I mean, they're like it's
just highlights, reels.
Oh, man, so because I watch a decent amount of Rockies games when I can, because they're terrible and I don't really want to watch them, but I do. And like,
Wait
it's
a
not,
minute. If you're not, are you a fan, or it's because of the Colorado thing? Mr.
yeah,
Bougie
our
goes to
family's from
Colorado.
Yeah.
I know.
Um,
My family is from Colorado. You get a load of this guy, William. Mr. Bougie. He's on the air the other day telling a story about how he was coming back from Thailand, from the Middle East one day. He's on
Thailand
there.
is not the
He's
best.
on
Southern
there.
Pacific.
He is on whatever. He's on there telling us about how he's coming back from Thailand. He's one-upping the great one-upper of all time, the great Henry Hinton. That's what Pilkington was. Pilkington gets around the big hen, and he's got to let him know how important he is with the rubbing of the elbows and all that, Grover.
The point was,
Not
we
me,
were
baby.
talking
I'm
about-
salt of the
I was-
earth.
The whole point of the conversation.
I
that
go to
was
the working man's beach,
complimenting
William.
how well I was treated by the academic advisors at East Carolina. That was the point of the story. We were talking about how Emily was treated like crap at Charlotte. The academic advisors are idiots. They don't help her out. And how I was treated like a king by my academic
Well,
advisor.
you are a king. You go to Thailand for a weekend. You weekended in Thailand.
No,
you go to
it
a
was
week.
wedding. It was a
White
wedding.
Lotus season 4 with
Season
a
3.
revisit to Thailand with Philip the Ref Pilkington.
Yeah.
White Lotus season 4 will be Pilkington's return to Thailand. That's what it'll be.
Anyways, going back to the Rockies thing and Agno, sticking to sports, like I've watched him and it's not like he's just facing bad hitters. Like, he is really pitching well. He's really hitting his spots. I mean, he hasn't striking a lot of guys out. I mean, you talk about getting some weak contacts, lazy fly balls. Like, he looks like a big league pitcher up there. Like, this is
Well,
not
he is a
just
big
like-
league
I
pitcher,
know,
but he's also
you know what
been
I'm
there
saying?
for
Like,
how
some
long,
guys-
Pilk? 3 weeks?
Yeah. But some guys get up there and it's like, oh, man, that was a bad AB, bad approach by the guy. Like, he's getting ahead in counts. He's throwing first pitch strikes. Like, he looks very competent. I mean, whoever's calling the pitches is calling a good game for him. But I think that Zach really has found a home in the major leagues. Like, I'm enjoying watching it.
Did you ever find any other celebrities, or you just?
Dude, I have never heard of these people. Some Indian
Okay.
actor. I mean,
Oh.
I am just scrolling through actors and people I have never heard of.
What number are birthdays? Because I guess it does it in order. Why don't you get more into like the 30s, 40s, and
I
50s
did.
for
I
people?
scrolled
Oh, you
down.
did?
Oh, no. This isn't order. It's like order of like relevance. So
Oh,
Yvonne
weird.
Sergi,
Ah,
Admon Bradley,
birthday
Adam
brother.
Bernstein. So he's in the show Fargo. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm
Yeah. I
Alex
think I've heard of him.
Carter
Of the
Alexander
famous
Ludwig.
Carters.
Yeah. I mean, you just
Ludwig.
yeah. Dude,
I
you
might
just-
be the biggest name on the
you
list.
Might be. I'm nowhere near the biggest name on mine. I know. I'm not.
No,
even,
William, what do you think, William? I might concede to Beast because Beast has got this
Yeah.
fault,
Beast.
but I mean, I think I'm a solid number 2 at the very least.
Yeah, you're a good reliever out of the bullpen.
no, he's the number 2 in the starting rotation. He's just not the ace.
I'm not the ace, but I think I'm the second biggest name on this list, at least what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm anybody's not any bigger, but it doesn't sound like it to me.
Never heard of him.
And-
None of those.
And we know Pilk's extensive research credentials.
I can do some
Flies
research.
back from Thailand and gets his professors to book classes for him.
But hey,
Bougie Pilkington.
I know. The thing is, though, I will never be the top of my list. So, Patrick, you stand a chance to capture Mr. Beast because really, when
I
this
do.
YouTube era goes away, who's going to know? But I mean, I've got like Don Henley, actor.
big name.
Yeah, David Spade, the actor.
Yeah, okay.
Fat boy running back Ezekiel Elliott.
Okay.
So
That's
I
a-
think
those are three big
kinda the
names.
big
Those are
ones on mine. Yeah.
those are 3 big names right there. Some people would invite them to dinner if you could have dinner with anyone. When is William's
Don
birthday?
Henley
Not
would
that I
be
can.
up- Don Henley would be up there for me because I love the Eagles. I grew up being a
All right.
huge Eagles fan.
William, when's your birthday? Not that I care.
April 11th. If you know anybody that has a significant birthday, then I'm all ears.
I had an uncle that had his birthday was April 11th.
Yeah. My brother has
That's
an
all I
April
got.
birthday. I know some other people that do as well. All right. Well, we have I'll say this. Here's what I'm going to say about this first segment. We've sufficiently wasted time,
Yeah, I
Which
don't
is
know.
fine
We
with
didn't
me.
Talk about anything. That was
which
great.
is fine with me that we've sufficiently wasted time because there's always one show a week that I try to do for me. And this is clearly by no choice going to be it. Number 2, we got it on the rails. I'll give you that, William. You got it back on the rails after whatever the hell happened at the beginning of this thing. But that's fine. We're back. Now we're going to reset in the break. and we're going to stick to sports, but we have two of Pilkington's favorite topics, sports and politics intersecting. So we're going to – can you music us out, William? I'm going to endeavor here to hope we don't
Just find a bed.
we don't get off the – I need a bed. I want to go to bed. I've been up since an ungodly hour to do
and here we
the
are
morning.
at 5:15.
Here is the thing that's going on today. Everybody else is taking off on my birthday but me. I'm the only one working, and I'm working for other people on my own birthday.
That's true. Michael was off. Henry was off.
But, I mean, I filled in San Antonio, Texas on something today.
Oh. Look at you. Home of the Final Four.
Home of the Final Four in UTSA. The first place UTSA Roadrunners will be in town this weekend.
Meet.
All right. Pipe down, Pilk. All right, we'll be back with more, including some stick to sports, and then Brian Mull.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Have you noticed he's in his own little happy hour? We're back to the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
This is the happy hour program.
Here's the P-Man.
Did I tell you, Pilk, that our guy, I got a text from, I got a lot of calls and texts from a lot of people. But let me make sure I wasn't dreaming this. Our guy Shane Winkler texted me, so thanks. Shout out Shane. But Blake Harold sent me a birthday text early this morning.
Hey, how about that?
Wasn't that nice? It was very nice of him to do that. Didn't have to do that. Very nice. If you want to relive when we had Blake Harrell on the show or any of our past moments, or listen to him for the first time, you can download the IBX Media app, free for download at Google Play and the App Store. Patrick Johnson here. William Grover is producing the show today. Philip the Ref Pilkington, I'm not sure what he's doing.
I'm sitting here.
But, yeah, well, that's facts. Pilk, we are we endeavor to stick to sports in the show. You know, a lot of people don't like their politics and their sports across, and there's some that just love to intermingle the two no matter what. A couple of fascinating things from the world of politics as far as sports go. You might remember that Screamin' A. Smith.
I'm incredibly familiar with North Carolina. North Carolina. Curtisville, Green County, Hillary, Salisbury, Santa Red, Browns over here, Green over here, Burlington, down on Archdale, Johnson County, Rothenburg, Orange, Shelby, Greensboro, Georgia, Triangle, Gilbert, Halifax, Stateville. I know North Carolina. This right here.
There you go. He knows He just knows the triad, but he knows North Carolina. Screamin' A. Smith. This is more of your guys' wheelhouse. As I said this morning on Talk of the Town, the decline of ESPN for certain people was the increase of the Embrace the Debate era, which Stephen A. has cashed in on in a major way. What did Dimitri tell us, Pilk, that Screamin' A was making? 20 mil?
Yep.
Annually. Well, Screamin' A has been getting a lot of it because I guess ESPN acquiesced. He asked for another dollar figure. They couldn't come up with that, but they gave him $20 million. How will he ever survive? And they acquiesced to letting him do other things. You might notice that in the last year, you've started to see more Screamin' A on Fox News. You've started to see more Screamin' A on
Fox News.
CNN, for example, where we have a cut. He's been on Bill Maher's. Anyway, he's got his own podcast now where he talks he doesn't stick to sports. He sticks to other things. Remember when he said a couple weeks ago when he was going to run for president? He did an interview with CNN, and he was asked by the CNN anchor, will you run as the Democrat in the 2028 presidential race? Screamin' A answered.
You know what? I'm an independent. I'm a registered independent. I would lean who leans left. I'm fiscally conservative when it comes to my money. I'm socially liberal. I'm liberal when it comes to social issues pretty much across the board. I believe in living and let living. So I'm a moderate, and I would say if I had to run, it would be as a Democrat, but I'm not happy with the Democratic Party. So the Democratic Party is presently constructed. It would pretty much need to be purged in order for me to assume that I would want to be associated with them and I would garner their support, because I don't like the way they've gone about doing a lot of things for a very, very long period of time. And I think that I don't view Donald Trump as winning the election. I view the Democrats as losing the election, as absolutely positively blowing it with some of their actions. And that's why I think that, again, if somebody was to associate me with that, the party is presently constructed where it leads so extremely left, or at least it spent the vast majority of time doing that. Oh, that is not something that I would vibe with at all.
48th President of the United States, Screamin' A. Smith.
You think so?
Heck no.
Well, I don't think he's going to run. I don't deny that there have probably been people who have come to him and said, hey, let's do this. But I don't think you're number one, he's not going to – he has no grasp on the – he has opinions. And I'm not saying they're not poorly thought out opinions. They may be very well thought out opinions. I think a lot of what he says at certain instances makes sense. But he doesn't have a grasp on the scope of everything that the job would entail. Doesn't mean he can't acquire it. Guy's no dummy. You don't make $20 million and be an idiot. Especially in media. But
I think that's how you make $20 million in media. Nobody
Well,
likes a guy who makes good takes.
Crazy like a fox.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that you would give up $20 million, all of this, because that year of the election, 2-year lead-in, especially that he has other avenues that he can pursue per his ESPN contract. He's gonna sign on and be a pundit that will appear regularly and be on election night coverage. And those gigs pay pretty well too. So yeah. Not running, Pilk. Not running, is he?
No, if he does, he'll be like the first one. He'll drop out before the first debate if he runs. But is that?
Well,
even,
that's where he says he'll thrive. Is the debate? He says nobody can debate him.
No, but my point is by saying he'll drop out before the first debate. Like to be invited to a debate, you have to have campaigned. You have to prove you're going to put money and time into this. Like you said, he's just got his hand in too many other things right now. I think
his fingers in other pies.
Yeah. That's my word.
Where'd Grover go, by the way?
I sat here because I knew I was going to have to do the update soon, and I knew it was going to be a shorter segment.
I see.
He's doing the update. He's observing today and doing the update on Friday.
Okay. Well, are you ready for an update?
Yeah, buddy.
The other thing, and I think we did talk about this last week, it was the Trump NIL thing. And I was just reading a little more on that this morning. And I guess Trump has actually commissioned people to study this. This is not to do away with NIL, but to maybe via presidential executive order put some guardrails on it. What do you think of that, Pilk?
I mean, I kind of want the government.
We
to
all
stay
agree
out
there needs to be guardrails.
We need there needs to be guardrails, but is it the federal government's job? I say no. The last time Trump touched something with sports, it was when he decided to move the USFL to the fall, and we remember how all that imploded there.
No. He just brought the draft back to Washington, D.C., or brought the draft to Washington, D.C.
He
Come
announced
on, Pilk.
it. That's not something he did.
I thought you were a Trump guy, Pilk.
I am, but I'm just telling the truth.
When's Kasulki in?
I think we're going to lose.
Kasulki's in tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. All right. Boy, this has a Friday June feel to it, doesn't it?
This
show?
does. This has been goofy as heck, but it's fun.
This is a Friday June show. You know, Friday. I don't know how big of an audience we get on Fridays, even on radio, because certain times of the year, and we actually have done some good shows on Fridays. But sometimes this is what the Friday show is a little bit like. Brian Mull when we come back. But right now, here is Philip the Ref Pilkington, the jet setter he is, with a sports update and Pirate report. We got Pirate softball coming up tonight, and with a primer and more, including my Carolina Hurricanes getting a victory. Here's Pilk.
Yes, you are right, Patrick. Pirate softball will be in action tonight, 7 o'clock, ESPN+. It'll be their first round of the conference tournament down in Tampa. If they win, they would advance on to tomorrow, but that'll be 7 o'clock roughly on ESPN+. And speaking of Patrick's Hurricanes, yes, they did win last night, 2-1 in overtime, 3:06 elapsed time. Jacob Slavin took a shot from the blue line that was redirected in front of the net and got past the Caps netminder to give the Canes a 2-1 victory and a 1-0 series lead. Slavin said at first he didn't even realize the puck went into the net.
I knew we had some numbers at the net, and I didn't know it went in until I saw Jordan Stalzy coming with his arms up yelling at me. So, it's a huge win as a team.
There'll be a pair of games tonight on the ice. Game 2 from Toronto, where the hometown Maple Leafs are up 1-0 on the Panthers. It'll be Game 1 out from the Western Conference, north of the border in the Great White North, as the Jets will host the Dallas Stars. A pair of NBA Game 2s tonight, featuring home teams that are down 1-0. Knicks will be trying to take a stranglehold on the Celtics. That game's at 7 o'clock. And the late night game, the Nuggets, who won in dramatic fashion over the Thunder in Game 1, will try and do the same in Game 2 at 9:30. That'll do it for your 94.3 The Game Sports Flash Update and Pirate Report. We'll take a time out on the Patrick Johnson Show and be back to talk some golf with Brian Mull on the other side.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first. And that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
We are riding shotgun with you on the drive home.
It's showtime.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Okay, welcome back. Nice to have you with us here, Patrick Johnson. And we got Mull?
Yes, we do.
All right. There he is. William Grover sounded all good. Hello, Brian. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Happy birthday, young fella.
Thank you, my friend. I'm getting up there. I'm trying to catch you. I'm working on it. Hopefully I will.
It's overrated. It's overrated up here. Enjoy it down there where you are.
It is. It had a whole lot of fun on the way there, let me tell you. Brian Mull with us. And he, of course, Golf Scribe at BG Mull on X. All right. Big news out of today. We are a week plus away from the PGA Championship at Quail Hollow in Charlotte. And a couple of interesting notes out of the field announcement from earlier today. You have Dustin Johnson invited to play in the event. His Masters win had given him an exemption to the PGA, which is now exercised after 5 events. And I think a couple of other live golfers also got invited. So what are we to read into this, Brian?
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I think the PGA Championship has consistently had one of the deepest, strongest fields. You could argue the deepest, strongest field of any of the major championships. I mean, I guess yes, the club pros, the PGA, teaching pros and club pros are part of the field there. But as far as selecting the best touring pros. They've always really had all of the top 100 guys or one of the top 120 guys or whatever it may be. And then, Dustin Johnson, whatever he may be ranked in the world, certainly is worthy at this point. And despite not having great results lately, he's still worthy of having an opportunity there. And just right up the road from where he grew up in Columbia. So certainly will be a bit of a local favorite. And, I think kudos to the PGA of America for wanting to continue to make sure that the best golfers in the world, wherever they're plying their trade, are competing in these major championships.
Does this give us any insight into what could be coming down the road or what could not be coming down the road?
I still don't think there's any clarity there. There are rumblings that the, people like Brooks, Koepka, and Bryson DeChambeau, certainly John Rahm, are interested in being able to play in some capacity on the PGA Tour. I think there's probably, the tour is probably more open to that sort of thing than ever, but what does that look like? It feels like we're still a long ways away from any real resolution or that actually coming to fruition. I think it would be great for golf if we could get the best players together more than 4 times per year. I think we see right now with the number of top players who are really at the top of their game coming into this major that it's exciting, and we would just like to have them all out there together a little more frequently. And I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I guess we can keep hoping that it will.
A couple of other live golfers, some young guys have just not qualified with the world golf points. They're outside the top 100. Tom McKibben and David Puig. So look for those names if you're a live fan. Joaquin Niemann also getting a special invite to Quail Hollow. And Pretty Ricky Fowler has been given an exemption.
Ricky gets an exemption everywhere. Everybody loves to give Ricky an. He's got an exemption this week into the elevated event. He opted not to play the weaker field Byron Nelson or CJ Cup, whatever they call that tournament down there.
Right.
But he knew he didn't need to play that week because he's got a guaranteed money event this week. They just gave him a spot in. Good for Ricky.
Good for Ricky. It pays to be Ricky and have worn your hat like you did for all those years. There is the He does. He needs to go back. There is the elevated event, the Truist, in Philadelphia this week, where Rory McIlroy was the previous winner. The winner gets $3.6 million. The purse is $20 million, so it's those elevated events. It's a signature event, if you will. So, Brian, what stands out as far as this event goes, and how I would think it is a pretty strong field since it is one of those elevated events.
Yeah, excellent field. Scott Scheffler is taking the week off after his near record performance and incredible display there. He's taking the week off and prepping for Charlotte. But pretty much everyone else is there at the top, and certainly a lot of guys who have played well this year. Rory McIlroy at the top of that list, and Justin Thomas, who coming off a nice win down at Harbor Town, and Xander Schauffele continuing to come back from his early season injury and showing some flashes with a top 10 at the Masters, and kind of the forgotten man in the picture this year because he has been a little slow to come back from that injury. But let's not forget that he is the defending champion of the PGA next week and won 2 of the last 4 majors. Two of the last 4 majors. So it's I think the real star of this week should be the golf course, the Philadelphia Cricket Club, designed by A.W. Tillinghast. It's a classic design, one of the older clubs in America. But I'm afraid that between the length of the course, kind of short, 7,100 yards, and then the extremely soft conditions that are expected because they've just been in a deluge up there in the Mid-Atlantic throughout the spring, that it could turn into just these young power hitters just being able to overpower a great golf course, as we've seen a few times. So that'll be interesting. If you know soft greens and no wind, which is quite possible, and it could likely be another shootout.
Brian Mull with us here on the Patrick Johnson Show today, and we'll come back and talk about that. I have a Truist question or picks to click. I got a PGA question. I have a Scheffler question, but very quick. There's also an event down in Myrtle Beach this week. The purse less significant, but it gives a chance for guys to go and play. So what's going on in Myrtle Beach this week?
Yeah, the Myrtle Beach Classic, second year of existence down at the wonderful Dunes Club right there on the shores of the Atlantic Ocean, one of the older clubs in Myrtle Beach. Robert Trent Jones design, a lot of history there. Of course, the what's now the Champions Tour used to have its tour championship there in the 90s. It was a great opportunity back in that era to go see a Lee Trevino or Jim Dent, who just passed away last week, who was a dominant player on that tour through a stretch. Really nice, just a good test of golf there. And like you said, an opportunity for some of the younger guys, some of the guys that are on the fringe of the tour to have an opportunity to win a tournament and gain an exemption. There's also FedEx Cup points, so a nice addition to the golf calendar, especially here in the Carolinas. I think they had a pretty good turnout from a fan perspective last year, and I would imagine the same if the weather can cooperate.
Brian, what are the early reports on what Quail Hollow's looking like? I know they always like to tweak these things, but it's a popular course with players. Obviously, Rory McIlroy loves it, but what are you hearing early out of Charlotte?
Yeah, I think it'll be an excellent condition as we would expect. I think that what we've seen at Quail Hollow in recent years is that they've renovated it many times, tweaked it, and it's still become a course where the most powerful players can carry some of those bunkers that they've put in to try to make it more difficult, and just gives them a huge advantage. I remember Kevin Kisner competing there and being in contention in 2017, and just playing about as well as he could, but just really not having a chance just because of his lack of power. And Justin Thomas won there in 2017. I think that'd certainly be a name to keep an eye on. But I think Charlotte has been a suitable host. They've got a lot of experience. They've got a strong volunteer network and membership there at Quail Hollow. So they've been doing this. They've got all the logistics worked out. And, any event I've covered or attended there has run very smoothly with the parking and the shuttling and just the way that they navigate a very massive crowd and amount of people around that big sprawling property. So I think all signs point to a great event. And however you feel about Quail Hollow, it's been cool to bring these events. Like this is the second PGA Championship in the last 6 or 7 years, and also a President's Cup in there. To bring those type of events to the Carolinas, which is arguably one of the strongest golf regions in the country, and just a fan base that's thirsty to see the best players in the world compete.
Any early picks to click there? Any early picks if you want to lay down some money on Quail Hollow? We're going to come back and ask you about the Truist for this week, but just anything for some value early on.
I've got my eye on Bryson and Xander there. I feel like they both have what it takes, obviously, to contend and win in majors, but also their skill set matches what's asked and required there at Quail Hollow. So those are two guys that are kind of at the top of my potential card at the moment. Bryson coming off a win last week on the LIV Tour, top fives in his last 4 events. I just think Xander's maybe a hair undervalued just because he hasn't had the results due to the injury.
Let's ask you about what Scotty Scheffler did. He's taken this week off. Can that carry over into Quail Hollow in any way? I mean, I realize this wasn't a world beater field, but I mean, what he did last week with how low he went and how solid he played, Catalan or not, that was pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking. Look, yeah, it's not much of a golf course down there. It doesn't challenge these guys. There's not a lot of shots that scare them. But to play just the way he did over 4 rounds, just remarkable, and one of the best iron displays in the history of the PGA Tour since they've been measuring these things. And what I've been really impressed with is his putting. And statistically, that it's been backed up by perhaps the best putting year of his career to this point. I think his short game was a little rusty early, coming back from the hand injury, which is to be expected. But it's back to being one of the best. He's one of the best in the world in that area as well. When he does miss a green, and I think Scotty Scheffler, this is an important major year for him. I mean, we've seen what he can do at the Masters. Obviously, he plays Augusta National about as well as anybody. 2 green jackets, contended again. Always seems like the worst he can do there is a top 10. But we need to see Scotty Scheffler get up there on the board and be a serious threat to contend in some other of the major championships. Can he win a major in the summer, as we get into the late spring and summer? Can he diversify a little bit, or is he just a one-trick pony, a guy who can play Augusta National well and then just, win his PGA Tour events here and there? But when you look at the pace of Scheffler's career, I mean, I think 14 wins now on the PGA Tour, and he's gotten there in roughly the same number of events as Tiger Woods. He's got 66 more to go, but he's on just an incredible pace. When you look at what he's done so early in his career. But I think he needs to win another major this year, whichever one it might be, but just to kind of diversify there and show that he truly is the best player in the world.
A few guys going off early tomorrow. They won't tee off until 11. Ben Griffin, Lucas Glover, Sam Stevens, the Americans, Joe Highsmith, Harris English, Rasmus Højgaard is going to be part of the opening group. He'll go off the back. They'll go off at 10, actually. Cantlay in one of the early flights. Cameron Young, Thagala, a big Thagala fan. Anyway, those are some of the early guys going tomorrow in this elevated event, the Truist in Philadelphia. Give us some, if you're going to lay down some money, some guys to put a name on to win or place or just anything that you think would be of interest out there. For anyone wanting to maybe pick up a little extra Skrilla this weekend.
Patrick Cantlay in the placement market has got a little bit of interest for me this week. I mean, he's a guy who in his career has played very well in the Northeast. He's played very well on bent grass. He hasn't been at his best this year, but he's not that far off. And maybe a week where it all comes together for Cantlay. Not a super long golf course. I think sometimes his he's not one. A little bit of lack of distance can hurt him at times. So I think this would be a good week for Cantlay. I like Justin Thomas too. I feel like he's when you look at his putting stats, just the putter has killed him for the last 2 or 3 years. But he went and famously sought out some Xander Schauffele for some advice, and it really seems to have settled in. And his wedge game and ball striking are back to where they were 3 or 4 years ago. And I think Justin Thomas is a guy, again, on a golf course like this where he's going to have a lot of short clubs in his hand. Could be very dangerous. So, it's always interesting the week before the major to see how, some guys are kind of tinkering a little bit and trying to hit shots and prepare for the following week. And then some guys are focused solely on trying to win this tournament. So, can Rory, if Rory wants to be the best player in the world, and you could argue that he is right now, I mean, he needs to have a year where he wins 6 or 7 or 8 events. And maybe he just keeps it rolling. Maybe the weight of winning the Grand Slam and finally getting the green jacket, removing that weight from his shoulders, maybe it allows him to really perform at the best. I mean, he's still only 35 years old, in phenomenal shape, and it seems to be in a very good place mentally. I think, can Rory be consistent? Can he continue to be a guy who's a threat every single time he sees it.
Hey, Brian, thanks a lot, man. Do appreciate it. Have a safe travels, and appreciate you coming on. We'll talk to you next week ahead of Quail Hollow. How about that?
Sounds great, Patrick. And again, enjoy your birthday, and everybody have a great week.
There he goes, our pal Brian Mull. All right, when we return, we will close up shop here on this Wednesday. So stay with us. Patrick Johnson Show.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available, call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color and let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
And now, the stunning conclusion of the show. It's the P-Man here on 94.3 The Game.
Wrapping it up for a Wednesday here. Make sure I got the right time, Pilk. Yeah, we got to go, pretty much. Hey, thanks to Brian Mull for being with us. Also, big thanks to William Grover for his help today. We'll see William again on Friday. Thanks, Philip Ref Pilkington. Enjoy your sister's graduation, Pilk, very much. Hope it goes very well. And coming up, oh, no, I'm misreading the time here. We got a few minutes. All right. Pilk, anything else that I've missed? Oh, tomorrow. Tomorrow, Maeve English in studio. Wags will be with us to talk some college baseball. And congrats to Mike Mullis and D.H. Conley, also J.H. Rose. Rose got a big win. Conley got a 1-0 win in the first round. A little tight. Pilk, anything? Anything we missed?
Not really. I just think, like I said, Maeve's going to be in. She's bringing the trophy with her, is what Cole texted me. So that'll be cool. And
the conference tournament championship trophy, really?
Yes, sir. The first one in school history. Hopefully softball can follow in their footsteps. You know, Patrick, we've really had a good season all around in athletics. Softball or lacrosse came on strong at the end. Soccer makes their first NCAA tournament. Really good year for volleyball. Like, obviously, everybody knows, men's basketball, first time winning 10 conference games since the 70s.
19 wins overall.
It's been a good year.
Yeah, been a good year. A little down year for baseball, but everything else has been pretty solid. Softball set a record for single-season home runs, 72. It's a lot. It's a lot. We'll see if that continues tonight when they take on. Pilk, anything Knicks tonight or Celtics? This feels must-win. This feels must-win for the Celtics to me tonight.
I think so. They do not want to go down 2-0 like the Cavs did last night. Shout out to Halliburton for that shot, though.
Yeah. Was his dad on the court afterwards?
I don't know. I flipped it right back to the Gaines game. So
I think his dad has been banned from games, or at least not showing up at games. Shadow banned.
Hopefully.
Shadow banned. All right. Thanks to everybody who I said. Thanks to everybody for all the nice wishes on my birthday. I really appreciate it a lot. All right. Catch you in the morning on Talk of the Town, and then back here tomorrow, good Lord willing, and the creek don't rise, 5 o'clock for the PJ Show. Have a good evening, everybody.